All right, welcome to another episode of Tailor Made Rides. Got Harley Stilwell here, and your channel is what's the name of that one?
It's just Harley Still.
It's just Harley Still.
Harley
and I'll
Still.
put a link for that. But we're going to be interviewing him today about his project truck. You could call it a project truck.
Multi-year project.
Multi-year. Actually, him and I have kind of gone a little bit back with this. We used to work on this in a non-heated, non-air conditioned, no electric barn.
I had a generator. And then we're going to start welding and get this thing knocked out. Say hi, Noah.
Good stuff. Humbles a guy, really. But he's come a long way. He's got a really nice shop now. And we're going to do a walk around of this, the history on it, the background on it, and kind of just let you soak it in and see this cool rig of that Harley's got here. So
she's mean.
It's pretty sweet. You'll love the backstory and how he got it, kind of how he saved it, if you will. And it's a true save. It really is.
Yeah.
Pulled it out of a scrapyard, I think, right?
It was basically my girlfriend's dad bought it from a junkyard it was strictly AMC stuff. And this was basically, they got in trouble with the city and had to get rid of everything. Yeah. And this was basically lined up with a dumpster that they were pulling things into and smashing. And he grabbed it, luckily, and then he did not want it at all. So yeah. I fell in love with it.
Saved from the crusher.
Yep, so 100%.
I was thinking actually of some questions to ask you. And what generation is this of the Gladiator?
This is the first. It was 63. Well, if you remember the flat fender Willys trucks.
Yep.
This is Kaiser bought Jeep. That was when Willys had them. They had flat fenders and they were really tiny pickup trucks.
Sure.
And then in like 62 or 3, whatever, they went to Kaiser and they made this. It looked completely different. That was right when they were changing cars. 50s to 60s looks a lot different. So I think it's 63 to 70 looked like this and had the Rhino front end, which this is the very desirable front end that everybody puts on their 80s ones to
and
make
we'll
it look
get you
better.
In here to see it. And this is a 66.
This is 66. Yep.
66. Yeah.
It has no VIN plate, but the insurance card underneath the seat had the VIN number, so we're good. We have a title now. I have a title now.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, we'll get you in here and take a look at this thing. We'll throw some clips in. It currently isn't driving. He's doing some suspension work on it. He's going to put it in a pull truck competition. He doesn't know it yet, but
I'm not doing it.
No, he's not. But yeah, we'll get you in here, take a look. Okay, so like promised, this is the front grille, and Harley, what are you missing right there? What would go there?
So those are actually called pie pans, is what they call them. And this Jeep had the original ones in it when in the first pictures I saw of it, and the guy I bought it from bought 3 at the same time. Wow. And one was being restored. So when I gave him the money, those were gone. Which, hey, whatever.
Yeah,
they make cool cut like plasma cut things with lights in them that I would put in.
I wonder if I could 3D print you some of those. I'm getting some set for this Buick I have. That is not stolen.
It's not.
If you're watching that.
But yeah, it's like all the Facebook groups, they made a thing. It's like a black powder coated piece and has a pod in it. That would look cool. And this is these are very expensive and hard to find, but this is the original grill from this truck because I have pictures of it from a long time ago.
That's awesome.
But yeah, this is original. These are a big deal. People put them in. You can put them in the newer Gladiators, not newer, but 80s. And this front end looks a lot better than those, as most people would think.
Yeah.
This bumper is a piece of like an I-beam basically with the original J-Truck bumper ends welded onto it. So it was like the stock bumper wasn't tough enough, so they put this big. And I mean, I don't know if it was for pushing stuff around.
Oh yeah, this thing was in a scrapyard. This is a bumper truck.
Yeah, I think they used it around. It was in multiple scrapyards, kind of, is what I was told. But
yeah, that's like the back end of a Honda Civic.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But it was also from the previous owner. Once I met her, I was told it was a fire truck, which makes sense because we'll get to that later. But
are there any markings on the door on that one?
I'm really excited to get to the point of maybe buffing through some of this primer to see. It would be really cool. The X was basically, hey, it's time to get rid of it and get it out of here and crush it. I didn't want to take that off. That's cool.
It's pretty neat. It's got some history, that's for sure.
And then these are I assume the junkyard number that was on there. I mean, why else would you paint a number on the side of a bed, right?
Yeah. Jumbo Willy Bobs.
Yeah, it's currently in a weird situation, but we're getting through it.
That's awesome. Take a look at this emblem up here on the front. This is arguably the coolest feature of the truck, I think. Oh, I don't think I can get you in. There we go.
There's supposed to be some
that's
here.
Amazing.
These ones are actually, in my opinion, cooler, but they're missing. And they've been bondoed over.
Probably went on the old face space.
Yeah, I'll find more.
All right, in the old power barn. Oh, yeah.
So we'll start with the Walmart battery that doesn't have a go handle on it.
They never start.
They never start. Very big mistake of mine.
That's awesome.
No, this is a AMC 327 Vigilante is what they called it. They only put it in the full-size Jeep trucks for 3 years, 65, 66, and 67, I think. I kind of forgot now. It's pretty rare. They're not really desirable. They're kind of, most people call them boat anchors, but it was the only V8 you could get. It was either this or the Tornado inline 6. These are really torquey. They have like 250 horsepower, which is in a 66 in a pickup truck. That's kind of nuts.
That's pretty good.
So I think it's the coolest thing ever. They actually put them in boats and they put them in the AMC Ambassador. But since this was, AMC parts from everything, I'm pretty sure the brake system's from a Chevy, the engine's AMC, that was AMC's own engine though. They usually took parts from other people. Like. Yeah, it's a Ford carburetor. It's a 2100 off of every F100 that ever was.
Those always work really well.
Yeah, this is the 4th one. It's really good. It's bad.
That's awesome, but it's all complete, and the fact that it's original is huge.
Yes, I think that's why. I mean, everybody. I mean, trust me, I was tempted because I'm a big LS guy. To put an LS and 4L16.
I think even I said that at one point.
Everybody said it, but now hearing this thing, it runs now. So hearing it run and take it down the road was so cool because you got to think of how historic. It's hard to get parts for it. What was that from the exhaust manifold?
I just pulled that out of the manifold.
So I put new exhaust manifold gaskets in it.
I'll put that back in there for you.
I was wondering what the ticking was. I think that bolt might be a little short.
Yeah,
don't let me forget about it.
I'm surprised that made it in there that long.
Well, you'll have to throw up a video of it. I have a video of it running before I did the exhaust manifold gaskets. You couldn't even hear yourself think. They were complete. There was a gap on every. It was just horrible. So once I did that, I could actually dial in the engine because I could hear it.
Tune it properly.
Yeah,
too.
Exactly. But as of right now, it runs really good. The clutch is making horrible noise, but I got to do a couple things that you're seeing on the suspension before we can really dial it in. So I'm currently in the middle of lifting the truck. It was lifted when I got it. It had a 4-inch or two 2-inch steel blocks welded together, which is not what you want. You don't want a 4-inch block on your front suspension. So I removed that, and then the front axle was fully stripped and rebuilt. It's a closed knuckle Dana 44, so it's got those big knuckles on it, like a Toyota Hilux kind of. And the rear was a Dana 53, which me and all of my friends have found out is just horrible, and it's gone now. And now it's a Dana 44 from a different Jeep truck. It was from the rear axle's from a 63 now. So
okay.
So, but it's an original Jeep axle, but it's just a better one that you can get parts for. Both fully rebuilt, new brakes all around, new brake lines. I started painting the frame, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, currently getting it lifted back up the correct way. Had the springs re-arched, a leaf added, and then we have a 1-inch steel block, which is kind of the max you want to run on the front, but it's actually bolted through the leaf spring. So now we're safe because
it's not going to fall apart on you going down the road.
The old one was just a real sketchy. But
and you took this to an off-road park, didn't you?
Or
no,
that was
the square
K20,
body.
Yeah. Still have the J2000 badges. The first gens were J2000, then they went to J200, or then J20. Now it's a J10, J20. What you would kind of think this is F100 mirrors, because these came with all different kinds of mirrors, and it didn't have mirrors when I got it.
They look so good right there. Speaking of older Fords, take a look at that thing. Pretty sweet. But we're here on this nice Jeep.
I'll show you real quick what Noah helped me with. The seat. Look at this original seat. Beautiful. I had a cover on it. I took off when me and him finished all this work. This was like
that's a nice
2 weeks in the summer, right?
Yeah, that was just a couple. We put floors in this.
Yes, and
So
we
that
didn't
was,
buy floor pans. I took steel from a scrap bin and welded it all together.
Made
And
our
now it has
own.
a tank floor. It's like it's way too thick.
Take a
Didn't
look
need
at
to be
these.
that
These. How I don't even remember how old we were. Look at all this stuff.
thick.
This is awesome.
The crown bag is going to be the shift boot pretty soon. But
Oh yeah, that's a great. Yeah, that was a fun time.
none of the electrical on this thing works except for brake lights. So I have the O'Reilly special gauges under there to actually, monitor it a little bit.
Perfect. It's better than my vehicles.
Rockers are rusty, but not that terrible. The door's shut really good. Never mind.
It's because you're on camera.
I know.
That's why.
These.
So let's
want
see
to talk about those
these,
for a minute.
These big guys.
So these
What do you
were.
got going on here?
I wasn't even in the state, and I saw these for sale. And you guys don't know me, but no one knows wheels are a big thing for me.
33s. Yeah.
33 by 13
if you
and a half.
tell, that's his daily driver almost now.
Basically.
On super swampers, it seems like.
But these are Bart Super Trucker wheels, which are my favorite wheels of all time. They don't make them anymore. They were like $90 new back in the 80s and 90s, but now you can't get them. So they're in really good shape for the age, and these are pit bulls. They just make this thing look absolutely insane when it has all four on. It looks really cool. And then there's the actual turbine wheels it came on, but
check this out.
it looks cool on both.
That's awesome. That's like an old Pontiac style almost, like on a Trans Am.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
That's pretty
Turbines
sweet.
were cool. I mean, whenever the homemade lift kit was installed and they put on the 31s.
Those tires look familiar, actually.
We don't need to
Don't
talk
they?
about where those
Those tires
from.
look very familiar.
They're on like all of our trucks.
Taylor Foundation.
So we have no tailgate. It never had one. And no rear bumper, but a lot of these trucks, most of these trucks did not even come with a rear bumper, so it probably never had one.
Doesn't that make it faster when going down the racetrack?
Yeah, absolutely.
Drag strip?
It's the drag, less drag. And then this is my least favorite part. Someone cut out, I think this one's loose, I'll show you. They cut out, this is supposed to have round taillights. They completely sawzalled out where it was, and they put Jeep TJ taillights in it.
It's like cutting the dash of a truck for a radio.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't do it.
The dash was cut in this too.
Yeah,
So.
I am guilty of that, actually.
We have a fuel cell in the bed because on Amazon, fuel cell at the time was a lot cheaper than buying a factory tank for this. And it had, remember it was like a huge old propane tank back there that they filled with gas?
You run propane trucks, man.
I know, I hate it.
It's kind of cool. What is this?
This is the small back one.
Is that for a second fuel tank?
I think so. Well, that or was for a water tank for the... There's so many, I think me and you both wish we had time machines to go see what our trucks used to look like.
Yeah.
The holes in this bed line up with I think the brand was Canville, the wrecker that slides in. The holes in the bed line up like it had a tow. It could have been a tow truck. It has a big hole in the roof where it could have had a siren on it. I found a new old stock whip mount or CB mount because that lined up with those. This was just a hole, so probably pulled off at the junkyard.
Yeah.
So put an antenna back on it.
Picked apart.
So it was either a fire truck or a tow truck, or it wasn't any of those things, and I'm just making them up in my head. Here's the front lift blocks.
It's pretty sweet. Oh, wow. That's
really, really the safest option.
That's homemade. That's just...
Oh, yeah. It's stick welded together.
Yeah, that's great. But honestly, the truck it's all there. It's not terribly bad at all. It's definitely saved from the Crusher one, which is amazing.
You remember the first pictures of it, the grill on the seat, 3 different wheels on it.
Yeah. Right.
Shag carpet interior.
Check that.
I don't have any pictures of that, I don't think, but the floor was rotted from the house carpet that was in it.
Yeah.
Plywood door panels.
But it has cab lights and a spotlight.
Yes, the spotlight is.
Does that work?
So 70s. There's not even a light in
a bulb in there.
The cab lights this thing was probably sweet looking in like 1992. So I ended up messaging the person, the lady who I found on that insurance card under the seat because I really wanted to get a title for this thing because everything kind of sucks for that title. And she ended up being, about a year later, she responded to me and accepted my friend request or whatever. And it was probably like a 50-year-old lady, super cool. And she came here to see the Jeep, and she signed over a lost title paperwork. So I actually have the true title for this.
Wow.
Because times were tough, and she sold it to a guy, and I don't know what he did with it in the next town over. So it actually came closer to where I am now. And then it ended up at the junkyard. And yeah, but she brought me an envelope with pictures that she took for the. I don't know if it was for. I don't even know if the internet was around 2001, right? I don't even remember. It was like 98.
I was 1 year old.
I was. I don't know.
Just
I don't,
dated
I'm gonna sound like an
myself for
idiot
all
for
of you.
saying the internet wasn't around. I know that. So when she came here, she actually brought me a bunch of old pictures
Oh,
that she
wow.
had from like an ad. I'm guessing the for sale ad. But you
Yeah.
can kind of, I don't know where you guys
Check
can
that
see.
out.
Black bumper, primer down the bedside. It's funny, you can see it right behind you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she basically took pictures of everything on it. It was actually in really good shape.
That thing looks great.
Yeah. There's the interior with the shag carpet.
Look at that steering wheel.
I know.
Yep.
I'm glad I took that off. She had, I don't even know what I was going to say. Whatever. She actually told me that she drove her son to school in this thing in 2001. So it was.
Did she buy it new?
No, she bought it from a farmer who was using it on his farm, and said that before that it was a retired fire truck. Like, you know, what's a fire truck? Brush truck. Brush truck. So
Gotcha.
because the fuel tank was already in the bed, so it would make sense.
That's cool. Definitely got a lot of history. That's neat that she gave
When
you
she
those
showed up with these,
pictures.
and
I'm
I
surprised
was,
she still had those.
I know. She goes, yeah, I had them sitting around. I thought
Yeah.
you might want them. I'm like, yeah.
You're like, heck yeah.
I remember texting her, or when we were messaging, and I was like, hey, if you have any old pictures, like, I'd love to have them. And all of a sudden, I was at a concert, and all of a sudden they all start loading. Here I am just flipping out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care what's going on around me.
If trucks could talk, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we could sit here and interview it and ask what it went through.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But we can't, sadly, so we gotta make something up, you know.
But obviously, this is a truck. If you want to see anything about it that maybe we didn't cover, or if you know anything about Jeep's specialty, if that's kind of your thing, Andrew Shuck, comment below, and obviously we'd love to read those. Or if you got questions, or we can make another video, and we'll actually probably make one. I'll rope him into it of it driving down the road. I'll throw some videos. He had it driving the other day.
If you want to see years of it, just go to my channel.
Yeah.
And if you want to see Noah try to make floor pans out of cardboard, you can go back 2 years.
Oh, I made 2 of them. So it was pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. Check out Harley's channel for actual content on this thing. It is sweet. He does a great job, and it's come a very long way.
It runs now. It's about to get a lot cooler.
Runs the best it has ever been.
Probably.
Yeah, in 20 years, 15
Yeah.
years. I doubt this thing got proper maintenance at the junkyard.
Absolutely not.
So, but thanks for watching. Look at these tires. These ridiculous things. It's like off of a Humvee or something. And these are the small ones he said he has.
Great for highway driving.
You're disgusting. This thing's awesome. Quick little view. It's got headers on it. Cam. Tune. And it still makes 210 horsepower.
213.